Okay, everyone, let's have a look at Lunar Eclipse. Now, this is a really beautiful song in my opinion, and it's not too difficult to learn. But one of the main challenges of this piece is to clearly separate the melody notes from the accompanying figures, okay? And they're all kind of mixed in there. It can be a little hard to discern or to see which one notes are the melody. Now, to help you, they have marked the melody notes with a horizontal line beneath or above the head of each melodic note. And this is what we call a tenuto mark, or sometimes called a stress mark. Now this mark just means to hold the note to its full value, okay? Also it means maybe bring that note out a little bit. It's not an accent, it's just kind of a emphasis, okay? Now, they put a little hint there at the top, say press deeply into the key, and I think that's a pretty good hint to follow. So what I suggest is let's play the melody from the beginning of this piece to the end of this piece, just so we get used to what we should be listening for while we're playing this piece. Okay, so here it is. The melody is in the left hand, and you'll see all those tenuto marks there. It's really clearly marking where the melody is. So it sounds like this. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The left hand goes over. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Left hand over. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And the cross hand arpeggio. And then right hand gets the melody. It's not a very exciting melody. Right, so we've taken the da capo all the way back to the beginning. Here's the second line. Crosshand arpeggio. Now we're going to the coda. Another crosshand arpeggio. Okay, we'll talk about those arpeggios in a minute. Okay. Now, looking at all those harmonic figures, the majority of them is just this broken C minor chord. And C minor chord, just to remind you, is C, E flat, and G. And that's played almost entirely with your right hand. All right. Now, every time you play it, don't play it out too loudly, okay? Because we don't want to drown out the melody. You don't want it to sound like... kind of spoil the that kind of spoils the mood of the piece. So play it really gently, like that. Okay, you notice it happens a lot, this chord. And later on in this piece, when we have these crosshand arpeggios in measure 15, for example, right, those are just C minor chords being passed between the hands. You have left hand playing the upper octave, right? And later in the coda, we have the same thing, but now over 2 octaves, 3 octaves, 4 octaves. Yes, now over 4 octaves. See, and in the last line of the music, right, you're just putting your left hands, instead of playing the upper C, you're playing an A flat. But the right hand is still playing a C minor chord. Okay, so sounds cool, very easy to play, okay? The last thing to look at are the different chords that we see. So in measure 14, for example, you see this chord, this strange chord here, which happens to be an augmented chord, a G augmented chord. And an augmented chord, if you don't know what that is, this is a G augmented chord actually. This is an augmented chord in inversion. An augmented chord is 2 major thirds stacked on top of each other. And it gives this kind of weird spacey sound. Yeah? So that is the chord B, D sharp, G. Right? And it's best to use 1, 3, and 5 when we're fingering that. Right? And when you play that chord, you'll notice that it's marked piano. So try not to play it too loudly. Okay? The last thing to look at is measure 17, 18, and 23, I believe. Right? Now, you're playing a melody in your right hand, and also in your right hand and left hand, we're playing these chords, a 3-note chord between 2 hands. Okay? The right hand notes are really, really easy to read. They're middle C's, right? The left hand notes, you can see that's a 7th, okay, on A. It's a 7th on A. And then you'll play a D on the right hand. And then you just go down to the flat notes, still keeping the 7th, okay? And that 7th will really do you well in measure 21 when you go up this melodic passage, because that's a 7th, all right? You just go back to the original 7th. And then you have to move your 7th down one entire step and play a B in your right hand. And then you're ready to go back to the beginning on the da capo. So all that's left to do is to put our melody with the harmonic figures together. So in other words, play hands together, okay? So what we're trying to do here, right, you have to really keep those tenuto marks going and play a different dynamic on the melodic figure that you do with the harmonic figure. Okay, so I'm going to play 2 different dynamics. All right, the left hand is going to be playing audibly louder than the right. So here we go. Now if you don't do that, it's going to sound kind of really, it kind of spoils the atmosphere a little bit. So I'll play the 3rd line with a loud right hand. You see, it kind of ruins this kind of like mystical feeling we're trying to get. All right. So on the last line, we'll play the melody really loud, and this augmented chord that we're about to play, keep it soft. All right. In measure 17, the right hand plays the melody. So this is mezzo forte. And piano on those chords. On these 7th chords. And then piano. And then you're ready to go back to the beginning. Okay, that's about it for this piece. Good luck on your preparations, and we'll see you in the next video. That's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please consider clicking on that like button and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.